Curry is the most valuable player, but not MVP. Let me explain. Hey guys, what's up? And today I'm going to be talking about how Steph Curry is the league's most valuable player, but has no shot at winning MVP. Curry is currently on one of the hottest scoring streaks of all time, averaging over 38 points per game in the past 14 games. On incredible efficiency, and the Warriors are 9-5 in that stretch, when Curry is of course in the lineup. But despite Curry putting up relatively similar stats to his unanimous MVP season, he has no chance winning that award this year. Before I get into the video, I want to say thank you to everyone that helped me make this video, and I took big inspiration from Rusty Buckets. He had a video similar on this topic, and I'll leave it in the description. But now let's get into it. 3-point marksman Steph Curry was drafted on June 28, 2007, and flourished in his first few seasons, but did have some ankle injuries. In the 2013 offseason, the Warriors would hire player performance coach Kiki Lyles. And Lyles had a big part in helping Curry take the stress off of his ankles and work on his core strength, which did help with injuries later in his career. Curry then went on to have a couple of 20-point per game seasons before 2015 and 2016, where he would have arguably the best offensive season of all time, shooting 50, 40, 90 while scoring 30 points per game, leading the Warriors to an NBA record 73 wins. Warriors then won 2 championships over the next 3 seasons, with Curry being a big part in that. Then last season, he suffered a wrist injury and only played a total of 5 games, as well as getting a few future picks in a D'Angelo Russell trade that also got them Andrew Wiggins. Coming into the season, the Warriors were expected to be title contenders, but have had loads of injuries throughout the season, as well as every other player that isn't named Steph Curry or Draymond Green being incredibly inconsistent and sometimes horrible offensively. On paper, this team should be okay, or at least not horrible without Curry, because they have players like Kelly Oubre, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and James Wiseman. But without Curry this season, the Warriors are 1-7 and are averaging 102.4 points per game, the lowest since the 2017-2018 season. Warriors' offense is Curry, and that isn't even just his stats. Steph makes all of his teammates better and has even gotten triple teamed at some points during this insane scoring stretch. Even with Curry having to do virtually everything, the Warriors are still only 31-30, and in the play-in in the tough Western Conference. But let's look at Steph's stats compared to his unanimous 2015-2016 MVP season. In his 2015-2016 season, Curry averaged 30.1 points per game, but this season Curry is averaging over 31, which is his career high. Curry is also averaging similar rebounds, assists, and blocks, but was averaging 2.1 in his unanimous MVP season, which is up from the 1.2 this year. But Curry has still been an above-average defender, which is okay since he doesn't have to be anything more than that because he has Draymond Green on his team. That season, Curry only missed 3 games, which is up from this year as Curry has missed 7 games, but he has relatively about the same minutes per game. That season, Curry went 50, 40, 90 on 11 attempts per game, which is arguably the best 3-point shooting or even best offensive season of all time. This year, Curry is not averaging 50, 40, 90, but is right under 50% in the field goal shooting, which he could get up later this season. But that's still amazing considering he shoots 12 threes a game, which is 60% of his shots. Curry's also gone a bit more to the line this year than his unanimous MVP season. Now, the Warriors are also exponentially worse this year as they don't have Klay Thompson or even prime Draymond Green. And they're doing as well as they pretty much possibly could. And without Curry, the Warriors would undoubtedly be near the Timberwolves or Rockets in the standings. And does that mean that Curry is the most valuable player in the league? Yes, absolutely. And there's no doubt about it. But later in this video, I'll talk about even though Curry is the most valuable player in the league, he still won't win MVP. But who other than Curry is on the Golden State Warriors? Of course, there's defensive star Draymond Green, and he's having his best passing season, but only averaging 6.5 points per game, which he needs to fix if the Warriors want to make a playoff run or even make it out of the play-in. Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre have both been relatively mainstays in the starting lineup, and are the second and third highest scorers on the team, but only averaging a combined 33.3 points per game. And both started out absolutely horrible from 3, with Wiggins going 2 for 13, and Oubre 2 for 30 to start out their seasons, but have both improved to over 30% from 3 and 40% from the field. The Warriors have also had 6 other players to have 5 or more starts, mostly in that 5th position. And those players are James Wiseman, who hasn't done as good as expected, but has at least showed some flashes of potential. Kevin Looney, who's pretty much useless offensively, but has done good at least defensively, especially over the stretch. Second-year player Juan Toscano-Anderson has only averaged 5 points per game, but on way better efficiency, and has been a capable rebounder as a guard in limited minutes. Kent Bazemore has also only missed 5 games while starting 8, and has been a streaky shooter for Golden State. Jordan Poole is the team's 5th and last double-digit scorer, and doesn't offer much else but has an amazing work ethic. The last player to start 5 or more games is Michael Mulder, but in his second year he's already 26 years old, which shows the Warriors' lack of depth. Partly from injury issues and partly that the Warriors just don't have 12 or 13 players that would usually make a 500 team. It is very clear that the Warriors are made up of Curry and company on the offensive side of the ball, because there's virtually nobody else to point out, at least scoring-wise. And in the entire NBA, Curry has the most percentage of his team's points, as he has 28% of the Warriors' points. Well, over the last 10 years, MVPs have averaged 28.4 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 7.2 assists a game for their MVP season. And Curry has less rebounds and assists, but more points, and has been more efficient in three-point shooting and free throw shooting. We can't tell if Curry should be the MVP just based on stats from previous years. We need to look at this year. Curry's tied for 25th most minutes per game, which is impressive considering the offensive burden that he has. Curry's able to sneak into the top 25 for assists per game, but not rebounds per game because he's a guard not named Russell Westbrook. But where Curry is of course best at in the major statistical categories is scoring, where Curry is tied for first with Bradley Beal but has played more games. Steph is tied with Seth for 14th in three-point percentage, but has shot 1.5 more threes than any other player per game this year. Of course, Steph is also 6th in free throw shooting, and unless his free throw shooting completely falls off a bridge in the last few weeks of the season, then Curry will finish shooting over 90% from the charity stripe. And of course, like I already said, has a chance of finishing at 50, 40, 90 if he can improve his field goal percentage. Out of all MVP candidates, Curry is up there with the tops. And there's an argument for Curry at second, at least for stats, which I would put him at, because Jokic is just having an incredible season offensively and defensively. But considering other than a 5-game stretch from a tailbone contusion, Curry has been healthy almost this entire season. So players like Joel Embiid or LeBron James have no chance of being close statistically to Curry. And that is why Steph Curry cannot be the MVP, even though he's by far the most valuable player in the league. A majority of the players that win MVP are in the top couple teams in their conference. There have only been 6 players to win MVP while their team is under 600 in the 2000s, and only 2 for their teams to finish under 500. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1975 and 1976 when he averaged 27 points and 16 rebounds, and Bob Cousy in the first season of the MVP award where he averaged 26 points and 16 rebounds. And in their seasons, both were top 2 in both points and rebounds per game. So to win MVP while your team isn't great, you need to have a historical season like Russell Westbrook's 30-point triple-double season. So that shows that the NBA would need to have a historically down year, and Curry to have a historically great season because the Warriors are 10th and in the play-in right now. And though Curry is having a great season, the NBA is not having a historically down season, and Nikola Jokic is there almost averaging a 30-point triple-double on 50, 40, 90 stats. Curry has undoubtedly been the most valuable player to a team this season. Offensively, this team is nothing without Curry, and defensively, this team still gets worse without their star point guard. We still need to give Curry his props for having a great season, but even though he's the most valuable player, there's no chance he will win MVP. But yeah guys, that's the video, and if you have any suggestions, so please leave in the comments below as I want to make my content better for you viewers. But yeah guys, thanks for watching, be healthy, stay safe, and peace.